Hello guys, and we're here today with another very interesting deck profile, and this deck is absolutely crazy. I just don't know what to make of it. We're running a 45 card deck, yes, another Pot of Desires deck. So very pricey, but nonetheless this deck is crazy. Metalfoes Yang Zing it's really fun for me because I like synchro summoning a lot. I find synchro summoning this is gonna sound weird, but I find synchro summoning the funnest way to summon a monster. Like Xyz and fusions are nice, but I just enjoy the synchro summons a lot. So I don't know, but that's just me. And this deck is crazy. Like it can make so much stuff. If this deck got a 20 card extra deck, it would win the format. It would just devastate because I can make clearing in this deck pretty easily actually. Well, not clearing, crystaling. I do run clearing because he's a little bit easier to make. But there's just so many good cards that you can make in this deck. So let's just go right in. So with the Pot of Desires, let's start off with that. So the cards that you want to banish would be stuff like Painful Decisions. Maybe one Yang Zing Path that's still really necessary. You still really want to get it so that way you can cycle your deck. But for the most part, Maxi, Painful Decision, maybe a couple Yang Zings. Like, I mean, we're running 3 copies of the cards. We'd probably only run at 2, or maybe only run at 1, or maybe not even 1 at all. Like we're running 1 Palu, 1 Bayan. It doesn't really matter if Tatui gets banished with Pot of Desires. The cards you don't want to see get banished are both of your Zephyros, your Chirwins, and your Jayatos, and then probably Big C. And that's probably it, because like I'd be okay if Tsunami got banished. It'd be annoying, but I'd still be okay with it. And as far as your Metalfoes go, as long as you still have a decent amount of even scales, getting them banished doesn't suck. Like, I mean, if you banish all of your 8 scales, that's awful, because now you can't pendulum summon Zephyrino. But if you don't, and you probably won't, it's okay to banish maybe 1, 2, or even 3 of these guys. It's annoying, and it kind of kills Painful Decision, but hey, it's not the worst thing in the world. So anyways, let's go right in. We're running 2 of each of the Metalfoes. This is pretty balanced. You see them most hands. Like, honestly, the worst hand is where you draw into too many Metalfoes, so I don't want to draw into too many of them. But running 2 of each of them is good. It makes your 2 Painful Decisions live for the most part, and pretty much you just target a card on face-up card on the field, destroy it, and play some Metalfoes spell or trap card from your deck to your side of the field. So that's Metalfoes Fusion, counter, and then Metalfoes combinations. It depends on what you have on your hand for what you want to set. Metalfoes combination is probably a really good one, seeing how your next turn, or if you can make Bixie, you can destroy it to get off a search for another Metalfoes, and hey, there you go, you have your scale. Or maybe if you want to do some more floating, this card is a card that floats even harder. So I mean, your monster gets destroyed, it summons out another Yang Zing. If you have Yang Zing's Ration, it'll summon out another monster, and then you get to summon out a Metalfoes. And I do believe you can activate these guys' effect to synchro summon during your opponent's turn and using only Yang Zing monsters you control. Yeah, interesting. So you can't synchro summon using the Metalfoes that you summon out. But nonetheless, it's a pretty easy way to summon out a monster, which is great for if it's your turn and you're trying to go for a good synchro summon, or maybe if you wanted to go for like a Big Eye or a rank 8 play, because this guy is a level 7, so he's really easy to go and make a Big Eye with, so that's why we're running the 1 young Big Eye. And so that is it for the Metalfoes. For our Yang Zings to Zephyrano, it's pretty balanced at 2. I mean, you really don't need to see 3. All 3 of their effects would trigger if you pendulum summoned all 3 and you get all 3 searches, which would be absolutely amazing. So that way your Yang Zing paths don't get banished. But it's nonetheless decent at 2. If one gets banished, it's not the end of the world. If both get banished, okay. And it's not the end of the world either, but you can start panicking. Tatui, just more floaters pretty much. They all have they all have the effects except for a couple of them. Like Jayato and Shuin don't have this effect, but you can activate it to do a quick synchro during your opponent's turn. I think Trishula will miss timing. I don't think Boxia will. I don't know. I think it will. I don't know which ones, but Clearing is a great one to summon. Yazi, Leo, or even Xiaofeng if you can make Xiaofeng. Those are probably the best ones to summon, although I summon out Herald of the Arclight using their effects a lot because it's just great. It's just, let me just sync. Oh, you're going to activate Advanced Ritual to summon out Chaos Max? Okay, I'm just going to make Herald of the Arclight, and yeah, you get to banish a Blue Eyes, and then attack for 6,000 damage because he's in defense position. Sounds fair. Anyways, and then Bayan. So this guy actually, Tattoo, has another effect. Cannot switch, so your opponent can't mind control it. Chuani gains 500 attack for the synchro monster. Bayan can be destroyed by battle, unaffected by traps, unaffected by spells. Now Jayatu, It has the effect where you can ditch 2 Yang Zing cards from your hand, so that includes Path and Creation. Then summon out 2 Yang Zing monsters, one with 0 defense and one with 0 attack, such as, hey, Zephyrano, and 2 plus 6 equals 8, hey, Boxy. And you can also summon out Bayan or Suwani. I tend to summon out Bayan, it doesn't really matter. Like, I really don't see a difference between Suwani and Bayan, but it's up to you. And then, so it's a really great way to make a quick synchro to make your Boxy pretty easily. And then Chaiwen, where if another Yang Zing is destroyed and this guy's in your graveyard, you can spell summon it, so it's really nice being like, alright, I can destroy a monster using Boxy, destroy a card using my Metalfoes, and I'm gonna have a tuner, and I can summon out another monster that I want, so that way I can make a synchro. So definitely very useful. You want to make sure that you get your Chaiwens in the grave pretty quickly. And that is it for the monsters besides the 2 Maxi. Just more consistency, and honestly, all this draw power that's in this deck makes this deck very consistent. With having Maxi and Yang Zing Path, and then also Metalfoes Fusion, which isn't an awful card to banish, because who cares about something out these guys right now. So anyways, painful decision, more consistency. Like, once you get deck thinning a lot, once you've deck thinned multiple cards, like, it doesn't matter if you're running a 45 card deck, you're just gonna like, there isn't really a bad hand, and I'm trying to really stress that running a 45 card deck with Pot of Desires is not awful. Instant Fusion, it's at 1, so if it gets banished, it kinda sucks, because Boxia, I almost said Bixie, Boxia can summon out Norden, and then Norden's effect will trigger, which is just absolutely amazing and allows you to make such really strong plays. So if it gets banished, it sucks, but it's at 1, so most games you won't see it, because again, this is still a 45 card deck. Yang Zing Path is just another pot of greed in this deck, well, it's more or less a pot of avarice. So just allowing you to put more cards into your deck. The ones you will want to put into your deck is Jayatu, definitely Zephyrano if he is in the graveyard, so if you had to ditch him for one card or another. And pretty much any other one. Like Bixie, I like having Bixie because being unaffected by traps is really nice. So definitely a very strong card, just adds to the consistency of this deck. Once you get it searchable, which is great, and once you see it, it's even better. Pot of Desires is, of course, Pot of Desires, banish 10 cards from your deck and then draw 2 cards. You can still special them, still do a whole bunch of plays. This is like the last card I activate. I do as much deck thinning as I can. I activate all my Metalfoes, summon out Boxia, pop as many cards as I can before activating this, which means the cards that I don't get to search out, there are a higher chance that they will get banished, but hopefully the cards that I searched out, well, they shouldn't be banished because I searched them out. And then, of course, Metalfoes Fusion is definitely very useful for just more draw power and stuff like that. Of course, summoning out these guys are pretty nice, and I'll get onto their effects later, but for the most part, it's not that important. It's a great card for Twin Twister, and it's a great card to set as bait, so if you set a whole bunch of back row and you don't want your opponent to target, like honestly, these are the only 2 cards that you really don't want your opponent to pop, Metalfoes Fusion would be great. Card to just set as a dud and maybe mess with your opponent. Oh, he has 4 back row and a face down monster. What is he playing? Oh, maybe he's playing Trap Trick Cradles. It's whatever. Definitely really nice once you do get in the grave. So if you use like Boxy or something, you just can shuffle it back in the deck, draw 1 card. So it's really great to just get that extra draw and everything else. Twin Twister, Solemn Strike is still annoying in this deck. I mean, we do Pendulum Summons, we do a lot of different stuff, so really don't like Solemn Strike. And then Metalfoes Counter is, of course, like I said, it floats when a monster is destroyed. You can activate it, summon out a Metalfoes monster. And of course, you can also banish this card from your graveyard, target face-up Metalfoes in your extra deck, and add it to your hand. That's really nice, because it pretty much says, if you destroy my scale, I'm going to get one of them back. Which is really great, because sometimes you're like, your opponent will be looking at so many cards, it's like, alright, if I get rid of Boxia, he'll still have his pendulums, which means he'll still be able to destroy, so I should get rid of his pendulum so that way he can't pendulum Zephyrano. Oh, well, you just got this card, so you get one of them back at least, one of them back. And then, of course, Yang Zing Creation, it does prevent fusions and XEs and pendulum summons because it says you cannot special monster in the extra deck except synchro monsters, but it has to be face up for that effect to be in play, and if it's face up on the field, you can target it with Boxia or any of your Metalfoes. So it's a great card to flip during your opponent's turn and say, I'm going to start multiplying. You destroyed one of my monsters, now I get to summon out 2. Good luck. Maybe going to go for a synchro play during your turn. And then during your turn, you're just like, alright, Metalfoes, pop it, so activate this, or set this, and then during your turn, pop it with Boxia, and then get a search. So not a downside at all. And if it gets banished, this is probably one of the better cards to get banished, honestly, with Pot of Desires. Like, it's nice being able to multiply, but it's not. We don't need it. I wouldn't search it off as Zephranu if I didn't have to. And then, of course, Metalfoes Combination. Its actual effect is if a fusion monster is fusion summoned to anywhere on the side of the field, target a Metalfoes monster in your graveyard. Hey, painful decision, might have sent one. Special summon it. So pretty nice if you do go for a fusion summon, or if your opponent were to go for a fusion summon via mirror match or maybe blue eyes or whatever. Is instant fusion considered a fusion summon? It is treated as a fusion summon. So definitely a good way to get out some more monsters. Do note that the Metalfoes monsters can actually be summoned off of Boxia. Boxia summons any level 4 or lower monster, so he won't summon out Volflame, but he will summon out Gold Driver, Soulfred, and Steelin if you really wanted to. But if this card is sent from the field to your graveyard, add one Metalfoes monster from your deck to your graveyard. So pretty much this is a card you just want to pop. You get it to your side of the field, pop it, search out another card, and then hopefully you have your scales and you can start Pendulum Summoning. And that is it for the deck. Again, as far as Pendulum Summons actually go, you really only Pendulum Summon Zephranu, because he's a Pendulum monster, and he's level 6. As far as the other ones, like, I don't really feel like Pendulum Summoning them, because, like, if my opponent does have Strike, it's like, I'm not going to risk all those monsters. I don't know, though, if the Yang Zing monsters will get their effect to float if you strike them from a Pendulum Summon. I think it does. No, it says Control. When this card you control is destroyed by battle but card effect inside your graveyard, you don't control it just at that moment if they were to negate the inherent summon. So don't Pendulum Summon these guys if you don't have to. Just keep them for your normal summon. Have a backup plan if your opponent does decide to Warning or Strike Zephranu and Secret. Alright, just summon out these guys and either float or hopefully have something else or another Metalfoes. Now into the extra deck, so let's get through this quickly. This guy will inflict double piercing damage to your opponent. So if it attacks a defenseman monster, really great. And if it's sent from the field to the graveyard, so if you synchro summon with it, you can target a card on the field and destroy it. So hey, very useful because we could destroy our own cards and do some combos there, or pop out an opponent's card. Great card to synchro with. It is level 8, so that can help with making number 38. This card is just a level 5 vanilla, no effect, nothing. You can summon it out with instant fusion, so if you need to make like a sum rank 7 or you need a level 5, it's definitely an option that you can make. Norden will just summon a monster from your level 4 lower monster from your graveyard. So of course you can summon out tuners, you can summon out some of your non-tuners, and just have a lot of really good stuff. And then for the synchros, we're running Leo. I like Leo because he can be targeted, and he's 31, so he'll run over Arc Destroyer. Great card to make in the Cosmo matchup. Chaywen will pretty much say is a Majesty's Fiend for the attributes Yang Zing monsters that are used. So for Blue Eyes, you want to use Chaywen. If you're facing Cosmos, you want to use Chaywen and Jayato, and that will pretty much shut down their decks. If you're facing Monarchs, pretty much the same thing. And if you're facing Pendulums, then you might want to use a Bayed because of Sorcerer. So it's definitely a very powerful card. I don't make it all that often because I'm always thinking about, oh, I want to make Trisha or I want to make Scarlet. But it's nonetheless still a very great card, especially if you're like not in a position to go for game, but in a position where you can make some good synchros. This is a great card. Trishula is a Trishula. It's just banish a whole bunch of cards. Scarlet, burn your opponent and destroy as many monsters as possible that have less attack than this card. Inflict 500 or equal, and then inflict 500 to your opponent for each monster destroyed. So definitely very useful, and it destroys your own monsters, and they will float. So you can summon out a whole bunch of Yang Zings and then make this guy and summon out more Yang Zings and then pop them all and burn your opponent and summon out more monsters. Boxia, just running 2 Boxia. You can return Boxia with Yang Zing Pass, so it's really not a necessity. I don't tend to make 2, but nonetheless it's still pretty nice if you can make 2 because they'll first bounce a whole bunch of cards your opponent controls up to the number of Worm type monsters that have different attributes. This will be 2. Depending on how you make it, you could use 3 if you use the old-fashioned way, Suwani, Big C, and Jayato. And so we'll bounce a whole bunch of cards, and then you can target a card, destroy it, and summon out a level 4 lower monster from the graveyard. Yazi is a, not a Scrap Iron Scarecrow, Scrap Iron Dragon. That's his face as the old synchro. Target Yang Zing monster you control, 1 card your opponent goes, destroy it, and it spell summons the Worm type monster when it's destroyed. Clearing is clearing, Gario is Gario. It's really nice to steal your opponent's monsters. And of course, Herald of the Arclight is Herald of the Arclight. Just being able to negate 1 card your opponent activates, and being macro, well, actually a D fissure. You mentioned fissure. for any card that is monster that is sent from the hand or main deck to the graveyard. So definitely very strong. And then of course we have number 38 to negate spells, and Big Eye to steal opponent's monsters. Not that hard to make, especially since now we have a level 7 in the deck. So that is it for this deck profile. It's a little bit long, but this is a really powerful deck. I actually think this is going to be one of the better decks this format. Metalfoes in general have a lot of different stuff. Like there's a Metalfoes that can make deck that can make Ultimate Zolkin, pretty great. This deck is honestly pretty strong. I really enjoy playing this deck, and I think a lot of other people do. And once the ban list comes around, it's gonna be even better. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this photo. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And real quick, I do want to mention that I have another YouTube channel where I'm doing some gaming videos. I'm doing Fallout 4 and Final Fantasy 9. Link in the description, as I have been in the past couple videos. Do check them out for me, guys. Do watch them, and hopefully you guys enjoy those as well. See you guys later.